boy, what's going on out there, YouTube? This is SEL0320 representing JVS. I just want to give you guys a quick acknowledgement. First off, shout out to Warner Brothers and DC. Yesterday was great with the Batman Gotham by Gaslight, but it was nothing in comparison to what I was able to do today. I was able to interview so many different people that are connected to the DC comic book universe, DC entertainment universe as a whole. They had everybody from like Greg Berlanti to Jim Lee. They had Jeff Johns there. They had, you know, the different actors from the CW television series. And what it was all building up to was the screening tonight for Black Nightling. Now, afterwards, I was able to actually meet some of the cast members and actually talk with them at the after party. It's actually really great. I was able to actually get something like this. They got a complimentary like booklet for Black Lightning, and actually it's not even just like the movie, but it's like all the older stories, and I'm actually really proud of what CW was able to do with this show. And that's what this review is going to be all about. This is all non-spoilers, just so you know. And I want to just kind of riff off of the pilot. I want to make sure I get the pilot name correctly, though. The name of this one is called The Resurrection. Off the gate, you get an understanding of who Jefferson Pierce is now. I don't know the time orientation. I do know that he's in his 40s, and he's a principal, and he's got two daughters. One is a teacher, one's a student. And, you know, they're very prestigious, and he takes pride in what he is right now. And it's very evident that even the faculty, they look at him as like, you know, this specific kind of way. And it's like in the beginning, you think, you know, everything is okay. Everything is pretty good. Everything seems a little too good to be true. Like the daughter, the younger daughter specifically, seems like she's kind of got some teen angst going on. The older daughter, she's more of an activist about what's right and what's wrong. And something happens in the very beginning that kind of catches you into this world very quickly. One of the things I say about this, from a writing standpoint, Salim Akil, who I was able to actually talk to and interview for a little bit, he does the scripting and the dialogue writing for this in a way, as an African-American male, perfectly, in my personal opinion. Like, I think that how he's able to allow these dialogue sequences to pan out, how this person will say this, how this person will add this touch of this, and it's like it feels so different. And it's not a negative. It's not a knock. But this show does not feel like, even just from the dialogue alone, like a CW show. It seems like it's going to be somewhere completely different. Now, as far as the violence and some of the things that do happen, the violence is even turned on a notch as well. There's some things that I was like, wow, I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they went there. And yet at the same exact time, there's this one interesting scene where this young man and this guy that Jefferson talks to, you know, like probably midway during the episode. And the guy basically is talking to this young kid, telling this kid, you know, how you need to be an adult, how you need to be able to survive. And like his tactics on how he's trying to shift this young kid to do this, it was a subtle thing. It was very subtle, but it was like, this is real. Misguided, you know, direction and acknowledgement and trying to teach somebody comes out of a place of brokenness, hopelessness, or even being misguided in an elemental situation. Like if you are in an upbringing where everything around you is a life or death situation, of course you're going to try to teach somebody a certain kind of way. But at the same exact time, like, is that right? And I think that as far as Jefferson Pierce, who eventually you're going to see as Black Lightning in this episode, he is brought to this kind of breaking point. There's another situation that happens where Jefferson's with his daughters, and like something happens with the police, and like for me, like I was like, I feel that. I know what it means to like have like a police in the intersection kind of situation where it's like, I don't know what's gonna happen right now, you know, kind of thing. And they ground this very well. Every single moment of interaction where Black Lightning or Jefferson is interacting with something else. Like, it is like, I understand why this is happening. I get why this is happening. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel choppy. And they got some actually really interesting actors in this one. So, Cress Williams is Jefferson. Jefferson Pierce, Black Lightning. And, you've seen Living Single, you've seen other shows. He's very notable. He's tall, he's built. But I was really before I even looked at the show, I was kind of just like, he's a little older. I was like, why wouldn't they cast him out a little bit younger? But I get why. And I don't want to spoil anything, but you get to see how he got to this place, even in this episode. You get to see where he's really at, what's his relationship with his daughters, what his daughters look at him. It's not specifically blatantly put out there, but you kind of get to see, like, way they perceive him, as well as later on how the outside looked at Black Lightning. And they got some actors in, what is my man's name? From, they got Damon Gupton, who plays the inspector in this one. And, dude, I'm going to tell you who is going to be an upcoming great villain. I want to make sure I get his name right, though. Let me see if I can get it, because his name is Tobias, but I want to make sure I get his name perfectly on this one. Tobias. Oh, man, they ain't even going to let me see it. Oh, here he goes. Marvin. I don't know if I can pronounce this right. Marvin Krondon Jones III. He's only in a couple scenes, but when you see him and, like, you see what he does, and you see what kind of mind he has, and as well as the backstory with him and, Jefferson, you're like, from episode 1, I'm sold. He sold me. Like, he sold me like Mahershala sold me for Cottonmouth. That's the same exact way that I felt with the presence of this villain specifically. And I think he did a stand-up job in this specific role. They even got James Remar, who's playing Peter Gabley. And I don't want to spoil anything about that, but he actually plays an interesting role. But as far as the episode, as a pilot, I think that they structurally work in who Black Lightning is. They identify where he's trying to go, what he's trying to do, and almost this impossible task that he's already recounted in his head of trying to fight crime or not. And it's like, there's certain things in this, you're like, this is unavoidable. Like, you, in this situation, you yourself, put yourself in a situation, you would react. But how do you react when you have an other responsibility of upholding life and preservation of it when you have powers? And I think that that's the thing about this one that is going to, like, mold into the family dynamic. And I think that, I don't want to spoil it, but the family dynamic in this one is going to be very interesting. I cannot wait to see what they're going to do with this moving forward. As a pilot episode, I thought it was perfect. And if you can sell me on the pilot, you get a 10 from me personally. If I wanted to kind of nitpick certain things and critique certain things, it'd be very hard to do because from a production standpoint, it seemed very well produced. The VFX, I thought initially were going to be bad. They were actually really good. Every punch, every kick, every movement was really dope. The soundtrack was really good. Like, think Luke Cage, but a little bit better. Like, even in just this pilot. But I'm curious to see what they're going to do as far as the opening. But yeah, I'm also by Black Lightning. So thank you again for WB for allowing us in the DMV location to actually be able to witness this, and for even coverage afterwards. And I just had a great ball. And later on, I will be posting up the interviews that I was able to get done, as well as a couple other things from that after party, which I'll do in a separate video so you guys can kind of see who I kind of met and talked to, which is really great. But either way, keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Go and check out Black Lightning. It's coming out this Tuesday. Make sure I get the date right. Tuesday the 26th? No. Yep, Tuesday the 16th, I think. Yeah. Please tune in. It's great. I think it's at 9 o'clock. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Peace, guys.